I am literally doing a fresh start because we're moving from, oh, do you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that or not. My City Hall bell is ringing away. It rings on the hour. So today we're going to use neocolors and maybe a little water, get some brushes, maybe even throw in some paint, gold paint pen or some ink tip. I'm not sure yet, but I do know that I want to have some fun and I want to loosen up, and we're going to do Hawaii. We're going to do tropical. So I'm going to show you a picture that I picked out. Here's the picture. And I might do a couple pieces today. It might be, I'm going to show you a larger one, a little bit better. It might be like 2 smaller studies because I have my little sketchbook here today. So this is 7 by 10 instead of 9 by 12, and let's do this. So I'm just going to loosen up and have some fun. This is just a wall of foliage that was near a place that I stayed in Hilo, Hawaii a few years ago. And I really love Hawaii, and super beautiful there. And every time I look at those pictures, it just makes me want to go back. And the summertime just really makes me want to draw Hawaii, because a couple of years ago I did. I went to Hawaii the same year that the Lahaina fires happened. And I went in May, and the fires were in August, and I did a fundraiser. I did a whole bunch of paintings, did a whole mess of paintings of the photos that I took. And I mean, devastating. And a lot of the places we went are no longer. And it was just devastating. I mean, for the people, for the locals, it was horrible. Haven't been back. Definitely want to go back. I love Hawaii. It's amazing. And let's draw some Hawaii. So for this picture, I picked out, so we have our wall of foliage, and I have kind of a mixture of some tropical green colors and then a couple peachy ones, because we have some peachy tones in there. We have some brownish red and peachy looking, some of the foliage that is there. So let's get going. I'm going to put all these just down here. And so I think I'm going to start to pick out a topic every week. And a loose one, it can be a loose topic. I'm actually going to adjust my camera a little bit so you get more view. So yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about what topics I'm going to do every week. And I think this week we're going to do, I have to move this, sorry. I'm still in adjustment period here. I'm so sorry. Or maybe we just do that today. Maybe we just do that today. A little higher up. I don't want to have to fight in my sight line with my paper and my photo. So, I mean, you kind of always have to do that, but. Oh, I know what's different. What's different is that I'm working from my iPad today. And so I'm just going to be doing like a portion of this picture. And because I don't think I'm going to do the whole thing. It's kind of big. It's like a big wall. It's like a big wall of foliage. It's so beautiful. I took a lot of pictures of it. but I'm starting out with my neocolor. And so these are water soluble, and I will very likely go into them with water later. But for now, I'm just sort of sketching out, and I'm trying to use a little bit like neutral, darker neutral, so I can see on the paper, because if I use colors that are too light, I won't be able to see them. And I'm trying to pick out a few focal points here. So I have this big guy. This guy's actually a little bigger. If I was to pick out a portion of my picture to focus on, that's what I'm going to do. And then I have this guy over here. And then, so I may do more than one today. I had this wild idea that I didn't end up doing today because I just didn't really have the time. I was too busy looking at reference material and deciding what I was going to do, because I was like, what do I feel like? What do I want to do for the next week? Do I want to draw? Okay, another thought. I love drawing New Orleans houses, and I came across some pictures on Unsplash. So I did a series. Let me back up a little bit. I did a little series of New Orleans houses, I think it was last year. And so I was familiar. I've been to New Orleans many, many times, and it's one of my favorite places to go. But I have my own photos from New Orleans, and then of New Orleans homes, and then I was looking on Unsplash as well. So I had done a bunch about a year and a half ago, I think, like a year ago in April or March. So I thought, I'm looking through because I'm kind of craving to draw some of those houses again. I feel like I dropped that project prematurely. Like I love drawing those houses, or maybe I just kind of got tired of it and I wanted to go to something else. But that's what happens. I get I feel like I can stick to something long term, but I also need like to have variety. So I can stick to a practice, but I want to like mix it up and do different things. So I can stick to something well for like a week and then move on, and then I can do it again later, but I like to mix it up. So I was looking at those pictures today because I was kind of craving to do those, and then I thought maybe I should do like dream houses. Like, I was looking at some of these houses that were little ramshackle houses, and I just thought to do beautiful flowers around them and to cover them with vines, or like have trees growing out of them and things. And of course that led me to doing what we're doing today, which is all the foliage from Hawaii. But yeah, I mean, you can see the connection. So yeah, so I think I want to do both. I'm thinking like for the next week we do Hawaii. We do, or maybe not specifically Hawaii. I mean, it can be another tropical, pictures from another tropical vacation, or not vacation, but place, another tropical area. But that would be cool to do. Hawaii was absolutely incredible. Spent a lot of time at the volcano park, and it is like spiritual. I'm telling you, it's just wild to be walking around in a rainforest with a volcano, right? You're walking around the edges of this gigantic pit, and it's pretty amazing. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff. If you're ever interested to see more of my art from Hawaii, it's on my website, kathywaller.com, and I think I have a photo gallery on there of my paintings. Yes, I do. I definitely do. I did on my newsletter, Art and Life, it's monthly. I did a special photo gallery just for my email people, because I wanted to share, and I feel like if you're interested in my art enough to subscribe to my news, or interested in like what I'm up to, enough to do that, I like to share more with people who are on my newsletter, because they're very interested in. I mean, I think people who subscribe are like more invested in you, in your growth, and in, like, it just feels like more, it feels a little more, the word I'm looking for. Um, anyway, I want to get some of the ground down, and a lot of these foliages appear to be, I'm probably going to throw some water in here, but right now I'm just doing dry. I don't want to start with the water, because water changes things, and I love how it changes things, but sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, it changes the way that your medium works. And when you add water to neocolor hues, um, they act like, kind of like watercolor, like you can wash them away. You have to be careful, because different ones have kind of different pigment loads. So sometimes you can put some water on one, just a little, and it'll just like wash all away. And other times it's like super saturated, intense, and it does amazing things when you add water. So it's a little, and that's fine. I'm not criticizing. I'm just explaining. So I love these, but also, if you get your paper, you start getting your paper wet with these, when you draw on top of it, it changes, how they react when you're drawing. So it's fun. It's like smushy, but it saturates the entire, like, all of the paper fibers. So at that point, there's no white paper left, or paper that has not been touched by pigment, so you can't go back. You know what I mean? There ain't no going back, so you gotta be careful. But within these colors, there's greens, and then there's greens, and there's brownish reds. I'm gonna show you the picture again real quick. So here's the picture that we're working from, and there's so many other colors in here. If you look closely and you sort of study it, there's a lot of different colors in here. So cool. I should probably make a video on neocolors, because there's all these little things about them that are good to know when you're using them, and little things that will help you along your way when you're using them. So these little dots, See how I'm doing these little dots and then leaving white? So there's like, you can see some light through the foliage. If you look like here, you can see that. And I'm trying to emulate that. And eventually, I think it'll look that way. But right now, I'm just making little dots. Kind of as a guidepost for myself, too. But, you know, just to remember. And also to show the depth in the background, because there's some deep, dark background stuff going on behind the foliage that's up front. I think they're doing something's going on outside. What's happening? Mowing lawns or whatever? Anyway. So I definitely want to go back to Hawaii. You definitely need a car. You need a car. I don't drive. I'm not a driver. So I need to pack drivers with me when I go. So a couple years ago, a friend of mine told me about this artist residency that they have there. And I got the website and I was close to applying. And I asked people who drive, because you have to drive. Hey, anybody into this? And I think it's the kind of thing where, well, I think I probably could have gotten someone. I know it didn't end up going that far. I'll buzzkill. It didn't end up going very far with that. I kind of dropped it, but I was definitely intrigued, as you would be. And I think, you know, sometimes people don't know about these things, and it's pretty cool that they have things like that. So it was a residency for a month. There was some commitments, obviously. If they're paying for your, if people are paying for you to stay somewhere, you know, to stay somewhere and to, you know, promote your art and stuff, then there are definitely some commitments that you need to make. But yeah, I think that's a great idea for the right person. There's some other things. Okay, I told you I love to draw houses, New Orleans houses, and you know, because they're colorful. I love the colorful houses. The little shotgun shacks. Love those. And then I love to draw oranges and lemons and like fruit. Love to do botanical art, but in my own way. Obviously, I mean all the flowers that I've been doing. If you've been watching, I live stream. Been live streaming twice a day, and the morning live stream, the 10 o'clock one, has been for the past week. I have been doing florals I'm doing florals with lettering, botanical style, you know, using the name of the flower and data points, you know, how high they're going to get and how high the flowers get and how wide they grow and what type of blooms they have, if they're double blooms or semi-double or whatever, and then, you know, different things like that. Not the same ones all the time, just whatever catches my fancy. So the 10 o'clock one is for an hour, and then I do another one that's quiet at 12:30, and that's just art, no drawing. I mean, no drawing, lots of drawing, no voice, no talking. Actually, the only time I talk in those is if somebody asks a question. But I kind of like doing like the total no talk. It's nice. Maybe I should take a hard stance, no talking. No, because if somebody asks a question, I'll answer it. I'm wearing my mic, so I can do that. I'm wondering if I'm going to go into this with, do I want to go in with this and with the gold pen? I think that would really be a nice way to bring some of these parts together. Uh-oh, my neocolors got wet over here. So I'm going to move these over here and grab a paper towel to dry some stuff up. Boy, I can wipe my crayon off a little bit too. See, they're cool to draw with when they're wet, but you know, you put a mark there and your flexibility is kind of gone a little bit. I mean, I think it's the combination of pressure and water, pressing the water and the pigment into the paper. I love these because if you use the side, see what I just did down here? You can use the side of them. I know that on the internets, right, we see everybody with their beautiful neocolors. They look barely touched and they look lovely in their packaging. Okay? But I hope that your neocolors look like this at some point, because this is using them. This is like This is like using them to their fullest capacity because you want to get all the different angles of it. To clean it off, you just do this. Do that, right? And then it cleans it right off. Once you do that, you can go in with any angle. You know what else gives me the cringe? When people sharpen their neocolors. Like, why? Don't sharpen your neocolors. Don't sharpen them. You're losing so much of your crayon that way. You know, embrace it. You know, peel it, peel this little baby off. Use a corner, find a corner, use that for your sharp edge. Use this for when you want to do something else. Like, no sharpen. No. Don't sharpen your neocolors. You're throwing away a whole bunch of your neocolor when you're sharpening it. Why would you sharpen it when this is like an opportunity to use different angles of it, use different parts of it for different and like explore different techniques. Like, why don't it's like trying to domesticate a wild animal. Like, just don't. Iced coffee. Just get to know it for what it is and work with it. You know, you got a pencil. Pencils have wood, right? Pencils are pencils and they require sharpening. There's no requiring of sharpening with this. I'm just going off on a tangent here, but it really gives me the sadness when I see the sharpening of neocolors online. Makes me sad. Makes me sad. I'm just trying to pick to that point. Let's experiment with what we can do. So you can use the sides. You can do that. I got yellow here, so we're really going in with some yellow. I'm gonna go in there. Right? It fits the fan of the fan of these palms is just into it. It's very happy with the side of my neocolor. What are we looking at on time here? 28, 27. Okay. I'm just checking because as yesterday, so I was setting timers and I like to do that. But I think setting timers has sort of just trained me to keep an eye on the clock, which is good because ultimately, do I really need to have another thing to be responsible for? You know, like, do I really want to get into that? But I was trying to set a timer and the timer worked until I kept forgetting to, I've been forgetting to bring the timer in. And as long as I remember, as long as I remember to, as long as I remember to keep an eye on the clock. And I think we're just going to stick with this one today because I have a half an hour left and I can totally do more on this baby in a half an hour and finish this guy up. Do I like this color? You know what I love? Here's what I love. I love this. There's like this one. I got to find out what this is called so I can put it in my show notes, so I can put it in my description for you guys, for anybody who's watching on the replay or anything. Because this one is lovely. It's so intense. It's a very intense color, and it's also, it keeps the pigmentation when you're watering it down. Very cool. I want like a mid. Here's one. Okay. This is a metallic. I think it's metallic phthalo blue green or something like that. This is good. I'm gonna take my water brush and see what we can do here. I love a water brush, but I'm actually going to use a brush because sometimes with water brushes, hot take, controlling the water, controlling the level, the amount of water on your brush can be a little wonky. And you know, sometimes it's fine, especially if you're someplace where you don't, you know, have the ability to control things, like where you can be at home and do what I'm doing here. You can't do this, and you need a water brush because you're traveling. Great, I use it all the time, but I just don't always like the amount of water I get out of it. I feel like I need to control it a little better. Not as precise, I think, as I'd like. I mean, it's consistent. It seems like the level of water is very consistent out of a water brush, but it's just, I mean, you'll get more if you squeeze it, you know, but in general, it's consistent, but it's just, I don't want it, like, I want it to be the right amount I want. And I don't always get that with it. Nice to just use the side of your brush like this. You can lay it into the pigment, or you could even like do this with your neocolor and then just dab and get the marks you want. Oh, I didn't want that one, but that's okay. I can wash that away. You can just use the side of your brush. Create your those little negative space in the fronds. What I'm trying to do here. I will do that more. Another thing I could do is just dunk my neocolor into water, and now I have a little pot of paint right here. And then I can just do that. Cool. A little bit. Bigger ones down here. Maybe do like longer, like that. Hey, hi Pixelava. Hi. Thanks for stumbling. My name's Kathy, and I'm an artist here on YouTube, and I've been live streaming twice a day. I love doing art, and I really want to continue to do YouTube and to show my techniques here and to build community. Anyway, I would love it if you would follow, subscribe, all that jazz. If you like what you see. Yeah, you know, if you like what you hear, maybe too. I'm quite talky in this one. I have a quiet one at 12:30. I got a quiet art. Oh, these are getting a little wonky up here. Oh, let me show you the picture that I'm drawing from, if you're still here. Uh-oh, you know what? My iPad's losing juice. So I went to Hawaii in 2023, sorry, 2023, in July, in May, before the Maui fires, and got lots of pictures of. I went to 3 different islands and got lots of pictures. This one's from Hilo. This is from Volcano Park, National Volcano Park. Anyway, I love to talk about this because I love Hawaii, and the fires happened in August, and I had been painting Hawaii for a couple months at that point, thinking I would have a show somewhere or something. And then I'm like, oh, I got to do a fundraiser. It's like, come on. That's, you know, that's what you do. Yeah. So I did a fundraiser and raised over $2,000. I'm so proud. So proud to have been able to help in that way with my art. So, and thanks to everybody who's purchased paintings from me. Yeah, but I just love Hawaii. It's beautiful. I would love to go back. I really want to go back, but no. Oh my gosh, speaking of Hawaii, what's up with the tsunami? I have not been abreast of what's going on. Oh, thank you, Pixel Lava. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. You know, I love, 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 love doing this content. And it is so challenging. It is so challenging to grow on YouTube. And I've been on YouTube for many, many years. And I have never really been as consistent as I need to be, right, for the algo. And I'm like I'm throwing caution to the wind now. I'm just being super consistent, and I'm doing it because I want to do this. Like, this is, I drew my line in the sand, and I'm like, this is it. I want to do this. And I'm really embracing the live stream because I was doing my weekly videos. Not all art, like I do art content, not necessarily art. Some of them are art, some of them aren't. Um, and I'm like, how can I really like make a change, you know? And what do I want to do? And I'm like, well, I want to do artwork. So much of Working artist life is not doing artwork. It's doing other stuff. And oh, yeah, isn't it cool? Um, I'm glad you got value out of that because it's like it you know what it does? Like it's one thing if you do water that way. Like you just take a piece and you're just putting water on it. But when you do a dunk, it's like instant paint pot. It's not that way when you're doing the other way. It takes a while. So now I just anyway, if you remember what I was saying, just let me know because I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, I was talking about growing on YouTube. Yeah, I just decided I'm just doing it. I don't care. I'm just doing it and I'm hoping that I mean, I'm doing every day. I'm doing 2 live streams. I've only been doing vertical ones. I haven't been doing horizontal and I think in the future I might see look at that's also what you can do. Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god. They're so fun. Um I don't I'm sticking with vertical right now because vertical is kind of like I think I thought it was going to be best for me to grow and to find new subscribers with vertical because, I can capture more from the algo than doing it the other way. I think it's also a little more cash. Like horizontal, and I love horizontal, but I don't think I would get as many viewers. Most people set and if you are bored at all with this YouTube talk, just let me know and I'll stop talking about it. We don't have to talk about YouTube. We can talk about art instead. But I'm just gonna keep going if I get the okay. Okay. Um so I think it's fine if you like I think YouTube channels that do horizontal lives and have their topic and um have their audience to that know that they're going to do it and this and that, but this has been slightly like experimental for me, so like I've committed to doing the 2 a day and I'm sticking with it for sure. But I'm very new at doing it, and while I have with my subscriber count, my engagement is so low. I just need to I think it's because I have a lot of different interests. So unfortunately, I post about I've posted over the years, I've posted about different I mean, I think under the same umbrella, but others may I think you might need to super niche now these days. I think it's like more so than it ever has been before. So that's kind of a thing. So yeah, so I think I need to be a little bit more, even more, tight with that. And, I've been like, well, I like to post what I like to, and I think that's okay. And, if people want to watch it, fine. But I'm kind of changing my tune because I want to grow, and honestly, like, yeah, there is other content that I'm more interested in doing, like art. So, because I was doing a lot of Etsy and print on demand content, which I love, but I don't quite love it as much as I like just doing art. So, and I mean, I started doing that content kind of because it's you know, almost altruistically, honestly, because I feel like I need to share. Like I feel the need to share things with people, so I do. And then it was like, oh, gotta make a video about this because I want to share it. It wasn't like there wasn't really a lot of strategy going on there. And then I started doing classes because, you know, I found that people liked that content. So I started doing classes. I have a few on Skillshare, on Etsy and print on demand. this is a conversation that is just like, it's a little, oh, thank you, Pixel Lava. Thank you, Pixel Lava. Yay! Woo! I appreciate you. Yeah, it's this is what I want to do, and I'm just so grossed out by the whole AI thing. And it just came up and kind of bit us on the butt. So, ever since AI has been just obliterating everybody's world, I just like don't. I'm just it makes me have a total knee jerk. Like I want to do traditional media more, and I want to promote traditional media more, and creativity with your hands, because it's just like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding, right? Like, what the hell? Um, let's make art based on internet garbage. Like garbage from the internet. Like what? Um I do coloring books, and I'm just I don't even know where to go anymore with this. Like, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, okay, this is a much bigger topic than I can even really get into right here, because I've been on Etsy for a long time, and you know, I got my own I got opinions. I'm still there. I put all my eggs in the Etsy basket about 2017. There's a video on my channel why I closed my Shopify for my Etsy store, like why I chose Etsy over Shopify, and I stand by that video. But that there's a lot going on now that was not going on then. And I'm still on Etsy, but you know, I don't I don't agree with them allowing AI on there. And it's, yeah. Okay. I'm still an indie artist on Etsy. I'm still there. And I should probably make another video about all that. But okay. Here's my deal with this. I have some mud going on over here. What's going on here? I have to let this dry because I need to fix that. But you know what I can do? Oh my gosh. Here's what I'm going to do. Hold tight, hold tight. I'll be right there. I'm grabbing some. Let's give this a shot. Can we give this a shot? Can we give this a shot? I think I might have to let it dry a tiny bit. Okay. And it's ridiculous that I'm grabbing a bottle of white India ink because I have like 200 paint pens up there. I'll show you my paint pens. Would you like to see them? Those are my paint pens. Anyway, okay. Yeah, I want to use this stuff because I'm kind of into it, but I have to let that dry. That's too wet. All right, so we have 15 left. No, we have like 10 minutes left. So I got 10 minutes left here on this. I can do that. I can totally keep working on this for 10 minutes, although it's getting there. But see, what I like to do, this is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to go in with the gold paint pen. The gold, I'm still not touching this. It's too wet. But I'm going to use this because it gives me a little moisture so I can drag some paint and I can mix paint, but I'm not going to make mud. Okay. So this is the kind of thing. And okay. Like, you know how you forget something until you do it. And then you're like, oh, right. This is what neocolor does if you're not being strategic when you're using it with water. That is what happens. You can make some nice mud, and then you can go to the rescue with this awesome gold paint pen. Not paint pen. This is a brush pen. This is a brush pen. It's by Zig Kuretake, but I refill it with this stuff, De La Rowney FW acrylic ink. And I just make sure to, excuse me, I just make sure to rinse out my tip pretty regularly, and it's good. It works good. I have not experimented with other inks yet with this pen. You know, besides the ink it came with, which was different. It was not the same ink. But I do like this ink as my little refill ink, and here's how I fill it. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to make a mess, but I will show you. I will show you because it's super easy. It's kind of stupid easy. You stick it in, squeeze it, and then you let it go. And you just try and do that so that you get some ink in your chamber. This is the chamber that the ink lives in, the barrel. And that gets me good for a while. And then I have to do it again. It doesn't fill it completely. See how this pen, it just marries everything. I'm going to lose my picture in a minute because my iPad is dying right now. I'm on 1%, which is fabulous. But did I show you this picture yet? I want to just show you the picture before my iPad dies. I want to show you the picture we're working from here. There's a picture I took. Took this picture in Hilo, Hawaii, where we were staying 2 years ago. And if you want to hear more about that because of talking about the fires, please feel free to listen to the replay because I'm just looking up that picture on my other phone because I just screenshotted it. So maybe it'll pop over here and it'll be okay that my iPhone dies. I mean that my iPad dies. Okay, I got to finish this. I got to really buckle down here because my goal for these 60 minutes start to finish is that I don't end up with mud. Is that I end up with something that I like. Something that is pleasing. Of course, I totally believe in making ugly art too. Ugly art is very useful and necessary. It's necessary, very necessary. Let me tell you something pretty funny. I've decided since I committed to doing live streams, and I'm fine with making ugly stuff. Oh, I don't want to. Who wants ugly art? But I understand it happens, and it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen live because it's just going to. Because if you're doing 2 live streams a day, the odds are at some point you're going to make something that you don't like or that whatever. Okay. So that's the goal. But I think we can go in here now. I'm going to go into it. But I think doing practice off camera, I'm going to practice on my own for the stream. Just to add even more practice into my day. Because then maybe I can get out the, more experimentally things. Oh, just lost it. That's okay. Just lost my iPad. But and I did make a very ugly. I will show you my very ugly from yesterday. Would you like to see it? It's right there. There's my ugly. Ugly. But that's okay because I enjoyed making it and I had fun. Right? That's the goal. Oh, yeah, we got to figure out how to make this is Pixel Lava. We got to figure out how to make AI work for us, not against us. That's what it's for. After all, Ooh, I've been curious about those brush pens. Thanks. You're welcome. You're so welcome. And I do think, like, the thing is, AI, like, great for some things, right? But, like, it's got no business making art. But it's not AI, it's like people. It's selfish, gross people, right? You know that. I know you feel that too, I can tell. And I agree. I think AI is fabulous for some things, but it's not fabulous for what a lot of people are using it for. And it's just so awful for all of us. And it definitely knee jerks me. It makes me not want to do. I mean, hey, that's good, right? It's good for me. Good for my growth, right? It brings me to YouTube to do live streams. So yeah, gives me more time to make traditional art, or gives me more impetus to do so because I'm just sick of the crap. And it just turns me from things I love, which is sad. Like, I do love making coloring books. But I can't with the Amazon KDP anymore. I just can't, sadly. It's like I'm at the end of my rope. So when I make more books, I want to self-publish them. And let me see what time it is. It's 57:17. Okay. I want AI to do my accounting and taxes. Yes, exactly. Right? Please. And do it right. Don't just like make crazy Frankenstein mistakes. AI, please. But yeah. Okay. All right. I think we're good. I think at this point I'm overdoing it now, starting to. So that's important to not do. Is it too late? I don't know. It might be too late. Did I overdo it? I'm not sure. But ta-da! And I'm so sorry that my iPad died, so I can't show you the reference picture. Ooh, it just started raining. Oh, maybe that's because I'm doing Hawaii. No, it has nothing to do with me. But I love that it's raining because it makes me think of Hawaii. We had this house, was amazing. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Maybe I'll do a picture of it. Maybe next picture I'll do off of we had this patio, this balcony over this rainforest. It was outrageous. It was just a fantasy come true. Obviously not. I'm sure there were mosquitoes and, other weird things, but, you know, the, yay. Yeah, maybe I will. Okay, I'm talking too much and I have to go. So it's 58:48. I'm doing my quiet live stream at 12:30 p.m. So maybe I'll see you there. Bye. Hope you enjoy. Thank you, Pics of Lava. Thank you. And thank you everybody who's come to my art show today. Okay, I'm gonna hang up. Bye.